Let's do it, man. Dude, what day is it? What day of the week is it?
Yeah, man. You know, it's for real. Like I've run into that a bunch of times this whole week. Like today, I thought it was Wednesday.
I'm like, did I bathe myself today? Did I bathe? Like, when was the last time I took a bath?
They were saying that you're not really an introvert until you've skipped a couple days of bathing.
Yeah, it's funny.
I was like, yeah, I'm an introvert, but I don't skip it. Like it's a habit. I wake up and do it. I do it. So, are you a morning bather or a night bather?
I am a dude. Sometimes I'll it's in the evening and in the morning, and most nights is in the evening and in the morning. I don't know. Morning to wake me up, evening to kind of clean me off before bedtime. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got a habit of. I used to always it was in the evenings only, and then now I got into the habit of in the morning, just starting the day just feel fresh and get to work
Yeah, well,
I'm clean and ready to go.
I'm growing the hair out. It's one of my challenges during this whole pandemic is let's just let our hair just go insane. Me and Victor, we have a challenge together. We're not getting it cut. We can't get it cut. I mean, we could shave it, but no. We're letting it grow. So yeah, usually my hair looks like freaking Ace Ventura when I wake up in the morning, dude. From bedhead, dude. Oh, yeah. My hair is like fucking all over the place, dude. So I got to take a shower to kind of tame it down a little bit.
Mine's just terrible. Yeah, today I was realizing, I was like, yo, my hair's getting pretty long, and I could pull it down to my nose, and I'm like, this is almost as long as I've had it. I had it to where I could pull it down to my mouth.
Your hair grows really quick, man. I feel like I've seen you get probably 10 haircuts in the last couple of years, and it's like your hair grows, man.
Yeah, I got lucky that way, man. Everything kind of lined up to me expecting to lose hair, but I pretty much have the hairline I've had since I can remember. So, yeah, quick hair growth.
So
and
much over on this side. Let me tell you, dude. This has taken me 4 months to grow this, dude. Because you know me, I usually rock the shave head. You know what I mean? But
it works for you.
Yeah, man. I got a decent shaped head. You know, a lot of people can't rock the bald head, man.
No,
got some weird potato looking heads, man.
It's funny. I was, and this is completely off of what we were talking about, but this is funny anyway. So I was talking at work before all of this happened about how the bald head is not a bad thing at all today. It really isn't. It's been in for quite a while. So I don't get why people wear pieces. You know what I mean? Wig pieces.
Yeah, it's
or whatever.
Interesting. You talk about men, right?
It's dude, men generally. Yeah, it's just shave your head. It doesn't look bad. It's very acceptable. It's not what it used to be. Sure, I guess internally you might feel a little embarrassed. But it's dude, there's so many successful and cool looking bald men out there that it's dude, what's the issue here? You look more crazy trying to hold on to the horseshoe or whatever the heck. As far as wearing a wig and throwing that on, dude, don't wear a wig, just be bald. It's fine.
Yeah, don't be LeBron.
Yeah, dude, faking it. Dude, don't LeBron, fake it. Man. Be proud. Oh. I just don't get it. I don't just be happy with what you have because it's not Tony, as bad as you make it up to be in your head.
It's easy for you to say, Mr. Beautiful freaking head of hair. Okay, calm down over there, Mr. Luscious Locks.
I just enjoy being them people.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, man. if you had a shitty head of hair, you wouldn't be saying. Just be yourself,
dude, nah. I'm on the side of the people. My whole point is,
I'm messing with you.
Be happy with who you are, dude. Because I don't think, and dude, I'm gonna tell you, everybody can agree I'm a pretty judgmental person, dude. It's one of my weaknesses.
It's all good, man.
I don't think people generally look at bald people and they're like, oh my god, look at how bald he is. I don't think they look at it that bad. They're just I don't either. It's just a different amount of hair. It don't matter. It's not as big a deal as you think it would be.
There was a great Curb Your Enthusiasm episode about being bald. A number of episodes about being bald, man. With Larry confiding with other bald Larry. People, man, and accepting his baldness and seeking those people out. Oh, it's so funny, man.
Yeah, I get it. I think for the older generation, it used to be a problem, but the generation we grew up in, you got so many actors and stars that was just yo, that's the look. I think ever since Michael Jordan, it's been the cool thing. You bald, man. That's dope.
That's it, man. That's it. I do for my wedding. I was very almost bald, and then I had the beard. I had the bald beard combo. I felt like I look kind of handsome right there, dude. Let me tell you something. We talked about this recently, but we'll tell our audience, dude. When I got married, Tony was kind enough and sweet enough and an amazing dude to come out and he filmed my wedding, man. And I haven't really put it out there into the stratosphere, into the world, because it's a very personal thing for me. But it's a beautiful wedding film. You know what? Maybe I'll post it. But anyway, dude, yeah, I had that. Dude, there's a shot, there's a photo that Rita took of you and me, the black and white, dude. It looks like we're at like a mob party and somebody just told an amazing joke and we're just cracking up, dude. All that's missing is a cigar, dude. We got to put I'll send you the photo. You got to put it up on the podcast to show everybody. We look good.
That'd be cool.
Good,
that'd be a cool thumbnail.
We look good. Yeah, we look real good, man.
Yeah, man.
That was a great day, dude. What a day, man. What a day that was, huh? Man.
Did it feel so? I remember telling you, like, they ask if you agree with the fact that the wedding day, everything before it feels like the longest day of your life, and then the day of, it feels like it went by in 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was. That's a very astute observation. Yeah, it went by really quickly. I didn't have a care in the world, dude. We had such an awesome family support system that day. My mom, my mother-in-law, a bunch of my family, just going around taking care of stuff and getting everything set up for us, which was great. So me and Bree, for the most part, you were there. I was chilling with Vic, dude, hanging out. Bree had a little bit more to do, but yeah, beautiful day, dude. And then what was really cool about what Tony did, and I probably won't release this one. We'll see. He made me, as well as a beautiful wedding film, he made me a blooper reel. It's like 7 minutes long. It's just as long as the wedding film, and it's just all this silly stuff that happened, and I had no idea he was putting that together for me. So, again, Tony, thank you, dude. We watch it often. Watch it often, man. It brings a tear to my eye every time I watch it, man. So, yeah. We're putting that photo up. We're putting that photo up. People got to see us.
We talked about it before, like from a video perspective. Like if that would have been for a client, it would have been significantly shorter.
Yeah.
But this type of piece is just like, it's a friend piece, it's a family piece. It's like,
yeah, man.
Let it linger, man. It's family moments, and none of it is necessarily bad moments. You enjoy looking at your family. So, but for a client, like we treat it way different. Like we try to get to the point and get to like the highlights. Like I look back at your wedding video a few times and I'm like, I would have done it different. But at the same time, I'm like, what I have? Because it's for Matt. Like this isn't for a client.
Yeah, no, it was.
You know what I mean?
It's so awesome, and you're right. And shooting weddings in the videography world, it's dude. Those are long days, man. Those are long days. And I remember you were with me from Jump Street, dude, or you were with Bree. I think you started with Bree, and you were there all freaking day, man, all the way till 9, 10 o'clock at night. But yeah, weddings are fun.
Those are fun though.
Weddings are fun.
They're fun. You meet some good people.
It's fun to shoot with somebody else at a wedding. If I was by myself shooting a wedding, I don't know if I would have as much fun.
I think it'd be too stressful, dude. There's too many moments that are like one shots.
Right. It's
like with two, it's like at least somebody's got it. Like
you and me, we split up, dude. I'm like, all right, I got the bride. You take the groom. Boom, we split up. We're rocking and rolling. We kind of game planning it. It's nice to laugh with somebody about how bad my feet hurt by about 3/4 of the way through the day. In my old man back. But yeah, weddings are great, man. We love doing wedding films, man. We got to do more of those. We got to get out there this summer. Well, maybe not.
People. Well, what's crazy is some people have had to postpone their weddings, which is very sad. But
dude, we were gonna go shoot that promo for one of our clients at a wedding that got canceled, man. A number of things get canceled.
Yeah, I seen a friend that canceled them. Cruises get canceled. We'll get back to it, man. We will get back to it.
Absolutely, dude. So yeah, man. So what else is going on with you? Anything new? I know you're working from home. How's that whole transition going? How's the working from home thing? What's going on with that, dude?
It's all right. It's okay. I'm spending a lot of time with the kids. I don't know if I mentioned it on the podcast, but it's a different challenge when the kids kind of don't understand that seeing you in the house doesn't mean that you're there to play around all day. That's kind of weird. So I had to sit down and tell them, like, listen, like, if I'm on the phone or something, you got to give me some space. But other than that, it's cool to be with them, man. I was thinking about it's gonna be kind of bittersweet when we go back to work, because I think I'm gonna miss the attachment of being around them so much.
Dude, it's been such a blessing, man. Like, yes, it's stressful at times because it's a change for everybody. And especially since we're all just cooped up so much, we haven't been going anywhere, you know what I mean? But like you said, dude, it's just been so nice to have so much quality time with Vic. And even with Bree, I've spent more time with my wife in the last 3 weeks than I have in a long time. So it's been you just got to try to find the silver lining in things, man. You know, I mean, we're hurting a little bit from money right now. We're feeling that burn. I know like a couple weeks ago we talked about we haven't felt it yet. We're feeling that burn a little bit now, but you know, we're just enjoying what you can enjoy through this whole ordeal. You know what I mean? And you're right, dude. It's been so awesome to just get a lot of quality time with the kids, man. It's fantastic, dude.
Yeah. So it's not necessarily a private question because the whole world is going to get one. Have you seen the stimulus yet?
No, I haven't. I haven't got my stimulus check yet. I've seen a lot of my friends on Facebook. My parents got
theirs.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I think my parents got theirs as well.
Cool.
Yeah, they're trying to hold that Tsunami digital media money. What's up with that? No, man. I'm sure we'll see it. We'll see it soon, man. Yeah, I haven't either. I have a bunch of friends on Facebook that have gotten it. My parents have gotten it. We haven't gotten it yet. Bree hasn't gotten it either. So,
they'll kick us the $2,000 when we're $5,000 in debt and about to get kicked out on the street. Here's $2,000.
Right. Here you go. Thank you very much. No, I'm only in.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Right. I've already been kicked out of my house. I lost my car. I guess I could buy food.
Yeah,
take it back to the.
So what do you think, man? So like, I know, what is it? Canada. Canada's doing something nuts. Now look, Canada is like a tenth of the size of the United States. So it's hard to compare this, but they're giving like every citizen like $2,000 a month or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, so that's pretty impressive. Where is that money coming from? That's my question.
Yeah. So I pretend to be a lot of things, and an economist is not one of them.
Dude, I'm not an economist. I'm not into politics. I got nothing, man. I got nothing.
I'll admit in my complete ignorance that I find it scary. In my ignorance, somebody could educate me on it. I find it scary to give the population $2,000 a month with no money going back into the economy.
Yo,
that to me is scary. It just sounds like a recipe for just the economy being destroyed and people losing a lot of stuff. But somebody could educate me on how that works. I don't know. I'm not above being taught something.
Yeah.
But right now, it doesn't make sense to me. It's very scary. I'd rather we get back to work. What that looks like, I have no idea. I'm not saying open up the economy right now. But you and I discussed it offline at one point, and I hate offline. That's such an office term.
Thank you for saying that.
You and I discussed
I was about to get on you for that, dude.
It's just you get so used to saying certain like catchphrases, and they just bleed into your real life.
Yeah, it's so bad. It's so bad, dude.
So but you and I discussed it off air, and it's just at one point though, the president, whether you're for him or against him, at one point he's going to be left with the tough decision of opening the economy when there's still the virus going around. I don't think we're ever going to be in a situation where the virus does not exist or that people are not dying from it. So at some point he's going to have to open it and say, we have to get back to work. Yes, there may be some people dying from it. It's nowhere near as much as it used to be, but we do recognize that people are still dying from it. We have to get back to work.
Dude, it's
I was
wild.
Thinking, isn't it crazy? Don't you remember how it's been like years since we see people in China wearing masks? And I was wondering, is that going to be our way of life for like the next few years? It's just, yes, you go to work, but everyone in America is wearing masks, just like we know China to do.
Yeah, it's a really good point. I never thought of it that way, dude. They've been dealing with all kinds of crap over there, dude. The whole SARS thing, and among, I'm sure, tens of other things in the last decade. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that could very well be a part of our everyday life, wearing masks, man. I mean, I feel like, I wear it enough now. The only times I'm really going out is either grocery shopping, or if Bree's doing a grocery shopping, I'm hanging out here, or going to the aquarium, you know what I mean, and shooting. Right. But I'm getting used to it, dude. I'm getting used to it. I got a beautiful looking mask my wife made out of leggings. But yeah, it's crazy to think.
You ran out of pillowcases and went straight to the leggings.
We went right to the leggings.
No t-shirts, no t-shirts laying around.
You know me. I like the color, baby. I'm wearing a black polo tonight. I'm looking I'm drinking red wine. I got a black polo. I look very professional. I'm lit nicely. But yeah, man. It's just crazy,
dude. Episode sponsored by Aperture.
Yes, thank you very much, Aperture Lights, making us look beautiful since 2020. It's weird to drive to work, and everything just seems normal, huh? You're in your car. I'm listening to my favorite podcasts. I'm going to do what I normally do.
Tsunami Podcast.
Yep. And I'm listening to our podcast. But it's just strange to know that it's like this invisible threat out there, and it is out there. It's in our community for sure.
Right.
And it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. It's surreal. It's still surreal.
It is. So that brings me up to something I had mentioned to you earlier about, I thought it was interesting because I saw some people bringing up this point, specifically barbers. They were making fun of it, but dead serious. They were like, the government has said that we are not an essential business. So that means we're a luxury. And they were dead serious. And they were saying when we go back to work, our prices are going to go from $30 to $50 because we're a luxury now. We're not essential, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's interesting.
That's crazy to think about that, man, because, because when this whole thing happened and with the governor Northrup in Virginia, talking about essential, non-essential businesses, I remember us texting that day going, and I texted you, I was like, yes, so technically we're not essential. And it's like, we've always kind of known that, but it's just kind of weird to kind of hear it out loud and actually live it now. You know what I mean? Because what we do is not essential. And a lot of people's jobs are not essential. They're wonderful, they're nice, they're great, but you're right, you nailed it. Some things are a luxury, and that's interesting that the barbers would, inflate their prices like that. I mean, I'm sure people are talking. We'll see. We'll see what they do when we all get back to normal. We'll see.
Yeah, I think that's more emotions talking because
I think so too.
I feel bad for them. I think it'd be a bad move to open back up and like, hey, welcome back. It's $50 now.
Yeah.
Because here's the other side of it.
I get it, but it's like it's super
without a haircut.
Yeah.
Well, and I think it's the time-consuming part of it, right? Like, we know from our business that it's really not so much. I hate to put it this way, but this is the way my brain's putting it together right now. So if I say it wrong, forgive me. But we're not so much looking at the skill always. We're looking at the time commitment. Yeah. And when you look at a haircut, it's like you're looking at an hour. I get that you have a lot of skill, and you'll get a tip for that, and you'll get the whole thing. Hold up.
Dude, your haircuts are taking an hour?
No. But I'm saying that's really what you go for. Like, if you get, like, I'll tell you right now, if I remember right, I'll go there like 30, 45 minutes if I get like beard and all that stuff and the whole shebang. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The whole thing. It's like 30, 45 minutes. So I just round it up to like, let's say you sit there for an hour, right?
Yeah, let's say
you're there for an hour, let's say, just for the sake of argument. $50 is starting to feel a little steep. It's starting to feel like for 1 hour. It is for for a haircut, and I much respect to them because it takes a lot of skill to do it right and to walk out of there happy with the way you look. But they have to be careful because the same way we have to be careful. We run into that all the time. Customers don't necessarily understand the skill level. They just look at it as a per hour charge, and that's where you got to just find your balance.
Well, we've always kind of you're the king of analogies, dude, and it's like. Let's give our business as the example. It's like they come to do a video and we charge a certain price, and we've created and nurtured this price and worked this price for the last 2 years. And as we've gotten more skilled, our prices kind of reflected that. And, you love to do these analogies where it's like, you wouldn't go into a Ferrari dealership and say, hey, I'm not comparing, our product to a Ferrari. But this is a good analogy.
No, but you're comparing it to a luxury
item, and then somebody says, "Well, how much is the Ferrari?" They say, "It's $250,000," and they go, "Whoa, what? Dude, I can get a Toyota Camry right down the street for $25,000, loaded."
Exactly.
Then it's like
you have that option.
You have that option for sure. We're never going to force anybody to use us. You know what I mean? But there's a certain value that a lot of people maybe don't see, and that's okay. That's all good. But yeah, it's interesting about the barbers, man. It's like, and that's just one of so many different kinds of businesses that are just getting their asses kicked right now, man. You know?
Yeah, it's tough. I feel bad, man.
Like, I mean, dude, we started this business shooting barbershop videos, man. It's
exactly.
Like, and these guys are just out of work. Yeah. Like, imagine you own a barbershop, dude. You've worked your whole life. You know what I mean? And you've busted your ass, and you got the capital, and you got the spot, and you built your clients, and then, dude, all of a sudden now you're going zero profits for like an indefinite amount of time. Dude, you've mentioned that there are going to be businesses that don't come back after this.
I think that'll be the case. That'll be real sad.
And that sucks, but man, dude, it's the freaking truth, man.
And the profits are razor thin, no pun intended. But
no, for real. Yeah, nice.
it's already thin, and the thing is, so now you have no income, and you still got to pay the rent on that space.
Dude, you got to pay the rent, you got to pay the utilities, you got to pay all that crap. Even if you're not there, dude, you know, you're still sucking energy. I mean, it's just crazy.
Don't you think it's interesting from an economy standpoint? It's very interesting that it would seem that the feeling, maybe from the government, or there's a feeling out there that the general population should, like, this is why you should have had a couple grand in your savings, right? Like, that's, you kind of get some people act like that, right? But at the same time, it's like, you got these major corporations that make millions and billions a year, and they're getting incredible government bailouts right now.
They're huge
so it's
bailouts,
like,
dude. So it's like, which one?
So you're telling what the people that make,
what is it?
Yeah, like, where were your millions and billions to stash away? Like, I don't understand it. You didn't have it, but you expected me to have it?
Yeah, dude, come
like,
on.
I'm confused by that. Like, there's always this highbrow, like, oh no, you're doing it wrong, I'm doing it right. No, then why do you need a bailout? Why can't you sustain 4 months without income if you expect me to do so?
Dude, I got like choked up just thinking about this the other day, dude. I'm just like thinking of, imagine being a nurse. Imagine being these frontline workers, dude. And it's like, I just can't imagine, dude. I mean, every day. I mean, it's like people that were in the military in harm's way, being deployed in country and stuff like that. You know, every day you don't know if you're going to get shot or not, dude. It's like these people don't even know if they're going to get infected, man. You know, there's only so much PPE. It doesn't matter, dude. Like you're putting yourself out there, man. And dude, I'm telling you right now, God bless every single freaking one of you that are doing that. I don't want to get choked up talking about it, but it's very emotional for me, man, because people don't understand like the commitment and the desire and just the ethic that goes into it, the work ethic. It's just crazy to me, man. So I freaking salute you, man. We both do.
Yeah. Well,
it's wild,
what
man.
else? When we were talking about, so I mentioned, did you see all this stuff that's being remade? Changing it to something more positive, because we kind of went a little down the deep end there, but pull it back up.
Yeah. What's being remade? Tell me.
So I was seeing that they were talking about, there's all these video game remakes, Resident Evil's, Final Fantasy, and they were remaking, different movies. And I'm like,
dude, we're out of ideas. We're out of ideas, dude. I'm telling you that right now. Well, we're not out of ideas
because I feel like
we're not out.
No,
I just feel like the amount of people that have ideas are getting smaller. I don't know what it is.
I think that, and I think technology and we've seen what works and what doesn't work. And a lot of big studios are not interested in taking risks anymore.
No, they're not taking risks. So they just
turn everything into a meat grinder.
Dude, the big studios in Hollywood haven't been taking risks for a long time. Dude, and it's there's a lot of parallels to that in the video game industry as well, dude. I mean, you look back on like the PS2 era, PS1, PS2. I feel like PS2 was kind of like the last era where like there were so many different developers, and in the movie industry, there were so many, production houses that were willing to take risks. Even actors were willing to do a bunch of different crazy stuff. And you're right, dude. Now it's this big corporate mentality. People around a boardroom going, all right, what's going to make the most amount of money? Go. Ready? Go. And it's like these think tanks that all get together, all these suits, and it's the same thing in the freaking game industry, dude. And it's why I'm bored playing video games nowadays. There's just nothing pushing the envelope, dude. It really
they got the quarterly reports and it's got to come out by this date. We know what works, we know what doesn't. We've got data. And here's the thing, man. When you start, this is kind of going to segue into the YouTube comment that I had asked you about before we started the podcast. When I think art will continue to suffer when we just continue to add data to what we're doing. When we start adding metrics and start measuring everything, art suffers. It's like, no, don't make the game that way. Don't take that picture that way. Don't do the video that way, because statistics show that the target demographic we're going after really resonates with this. And it's like, well, now you're in a box and you're not creative.
Right. It's this whole world of analytics, this analytical world. And you're right, dude. When it comes, that works for certain things. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of things that works with, this big data and this really detailed data that you can gather and could really help a lot of people in a lot of different industries. But creative, art-driven industries, not so much, man. Not so much.
Unless you're making an ad or you're really structuring how to, come to market with a new product or something. Like, I don't know what analytics are really doing for you besides hurting you. I don't get it. You have to have a goal. There's got to be a reason for you to look at the analytics, and it can't be your own ego. Like, stop. This is, dude, I see so many people online, and I get so many people reaching out saying, hey, look at my video. I got this many views, or look at this thing I did. I got this many subscribers. And I'm like, that's cool. I don't mean to, pop your balloon, and I got a bad rap for doing that to people. But it's like, in this particular instance, listen to me. Stop looking at your subscribers and your views. It doesn't matter. And those people that have 1 million subscribers didn't get there, living and dying by the subscriber count every day, waking up and checking how many views did my video get. Yeah. Like, they just didn't get there. They created because they loved it, and then their success was just a consequence of them being consistent.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta do what you
right there. There you go.
Yeah, there it is. Boom, and put it up on the screen. Bang. You just got to be you. In the creative space, you just got to be you. And we've talked about this at length offline. And we obviously creation. You're influenced by a lot of things, dude. I'm a drummer, and I've been influenced by what I've heard. You know what I mean? Drummers that I've admired and looked up to as a videographer, as a quote unquote filmmaker. We're kind of we're inspired by things we've seen, but really though, you and I both try not to emulate anybody. We're just trying to find our way of doing and shooting and editing, and it's correct me if I'm wrong, but it's just all coming from the heart, really. You know what I mean? We're not going, hey, dude, we got to get the dude. Look at this transition this guy did. We got to do that on our next video. It's like, oh, that's cool. We learn about it, and we might employ some techniques, but, it's just always kind of trying to serve us just growing organically, creatively. You know what I mean? We're never trying to copy anybody.
No, for sure. I remember, so the bulk of my experience in my, 33 years of life or whatever, it's just been, do what you love first. So I used to do a lot of the music stuff. You know this. It was just recording music and recording other people and helping them with their projects, right? Mm-hmm. And the one advice I used to give people before I had anything that even looked like success, I used to tell them, make the music you want to hear. Stop looking for, I need the trap record, I need the reggaeton record, I need the salsa record because so-and-so's doing that and it's moving right now in the market. It's like, do the music you would want to hear. That's what you need to do. That's the first thing you need to start with, when you make a video, when you're drawing a piece of art or taking a picture, it's like, take the one that you would want to see. Stop thinking about what everybody else would like. Because
it's interesting
there's people that like what you like.
Mm-hmm. And, that's the mother of invention as well. You know what I mean? It's like, something, there's an issue, there's a problem. Create something that you want to see. You know what I mean? Right. Or you want to hear. You know what I mean? So, yeah, dude, I'm with it, man. I'm with it. I'll tell you, dude, I miss making content with you, dude. I miss it.
Oh, yeah.
I miss it a lot, man. Yeah. I did realize how big of a part of creating with you is in my life, but dude, when it's crazy, you take things for granted, man. All of a sudden things get taken away, and it's like, dude, that was such a huge release for me. It was such a creative outlet for me, going to our studio out in town and editing together and going and meeting clients and going places we've never been and shooting. I mean, that's our whole business, dude. And I miss it, man. I really do look forward to getting back to it, man. I really do.
Yeah, no, it's fun to be around each other. And then there's the little things when we're setting something up, it's like, it's weird doing it by yourself. I had brought up the analogy that my dad told me about when he was, growing up and working. It was like, you think that when you're next to a carpenter or a handyman and you're just handing him the hammer or handing him the nails, that you're not doing anything.
No, you're doing a lot.
No, you are helping a whole lot. You're avoiding that person having to go back and forth to the toolbox. You're avoiding him having to reach over and over to go look for something. It's a huge help. And when you don't have that, it's like, wow, I really need that one person. He was a huge help.
Yeah, no, for sure, dude.
Sometimes it takes being away from that to understand it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward
right
to
now,
it, man.
trying to get something in focus. It's like, just sit there and get it in focus. Or you can get up from your chair, go back around the camera, go back and forth.
Yeah, I usually I sit my wife down in the chair and say, "Hey, sit here for a second." But now I've taught her how to use the camera now, so I'm like, "Hey, it's so funny, dude. I forget again what my white balance was in this room." And I was like, "Babe," I'm yelling to her upstairs. She's bathing Victor. I'm like, "Babe, what's the white balance for this room?" She's like, 3,700. I'm like, okay. That's cracking me up.
I don't know. You got like 4 different white balances you can set. We're not doing that much to need all 4, so leave one alone.
This is true. I just need to set it.
What are you doing?
It, man. I don't know. I'm an idiot. I still don't even know how to use this, half the features on this fucking camera, man.
I don't either.
Oh,
but
dude.
one thing I wanted to ask you, so we got off point, but I want to get back to it because I want your opinion on it. So Dan Schiffer got 1 million subscribers, and he passed
Schiffer.
Parker Wahlberg, and I think that's a big deal. And I
Did
bring
he
them
pass
both
him?
up
Like
because
for real, passed him?
He passed him. He passed him in subscribers. Parker Wahlbeck has like 917,000. I mean, 917,000 subscribers.
Here's the thing.
Schiffer passed him and got 1 million now.
Here's the thing about, and you know, I'm gonna link it to what you just talked about likes, followers, etc. That it doesn't mean shit, dude. So here's the thing. So Daniel Schiffer and Parker Wahlberg, these are video content creators on YouTube. They got big on YouTube. Schiffer, I think he's a freelance guy. Same thing with Parker Wahlbeck. They're freelance guys. Parker does like an online thing. I think that's where he's trying to get most of his money, like online teaching people how to like shoot video and do film. Full-time filmmaker is his thing. Shameless plug. But really, dude, it's like, okay, he passed him. Dig it. And I don't know. I mean, what do you want to say about that? It's like, okay, great. You have 1 million subscribers. Like, how's your production company doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think, those are things these guys never really talk about as far as the specifics. I've only seen one guy, YC Imaging. You know him.
I like him a lot.
He broke down his subscribers. Yeah, he broke down the numbers. He was showing his actual paychecks from Google, which I thought that was useful information. It's very personal, but that's really useful when people are saying, I want to be a full-time YouTuber. It's like, well, this is what it really looks like without no one making up numbers.
Dude, I read a great article. I've read a couple of articles on this, and, you know, I think one was like New York Post and one was something else. I don't know, whatever. They were just talking about what it takes to make like a decent living on YouTube. And I don't think people understand. Like, first of all, like the 1 million subscribers used to be this big thing. Dude, that's like the entry point. Like, you know what I mean? Like, now you're legit. If you can get 1 million, you're kind of like, okay, I might be able to do this full time. And dude, these people are pumping out videos every single day, and they've got to be hitting these massive view counts, dude. And it just sounds so stressful to me.
Well, I think,
you know, it just sounds like insanity. Like you never stop. And then people will take a break. They'll go like on a week or 2 vacation, and people will like lose hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and they're losing money at that point. And I think this article, I have to find it and I'll send it to you, dude, because it's a cool read. It was this girl that did like fashion tutorials. You know, this is really big on YouTube, like makeup tutorials and fashion makeup reviews and things like that. And this chick was like skyrocketing, and she had like 1.5 million subscribers. And dude, she took like a month break because she had some family issues, like some serious issues happening in her family. I think she had somebody pass away or something crazy. Dude, she lost like 75% of her revenue because people were just like, okay, unsubscribe. And I'm like, man, that's just crazy to live and die by that. You know what I mean? Like,
see, that's interesting. Because the first thing that comes in my mind is I think there's a misconception with YouTube being full-time. I don't think anyone's doing it full-time where that's all you do.
Yeah.
Well, at least not in the fields we're interested in, as far as, you know, like the camera and stuff like that, and just videography and photography and stuff like that. There's a whole different conversation about Twitch streamers and people that just do this several times a day, and then they get, you know, revenue off of their donations and stuff.
Keep going. I'm getting a refill. Getting a refill.
Yeah. Nah, speaking completely about just YouTube revenue and stuff like that, I think most of the people we check out every now and then, those guys are doing for sure side gigs, or they got a primary gig and YouTube is a side gig. The million count, I think that does bring in, you know, it says a lot about your content. It definitely does. It's still a huge milestone. Even 500,000, even 100,000. It says a lot. It says that you're putting out something of value that plenty of people are watching. But I think it's really going to depend on where you live, like what state you live in, what's the economy like, because the money we can get off of 1 million subscribers in Virginia is going to be much better than it would be in California.
Yeah, this is
true. We'd be living much better there.
And I think the article, now I don't remember the exact numbers, but I remember the numbers being so low. I'm talking about money that she made was so low that I was like, what is the freaking point? Like, dude, you're making $25,000 a year, and you're doing and it's just you're slaving every single day, 7 days a week. You got to put out a video, and those videos have to hit it like 1 million views, like 100, 500,000 views. Like you have to hit those. It's like for 25 G's. Like you're insane to me. I mean, that's just crazy. Now, if you're doing something you're super passionate about, but I think you're right. I think a lot of people, it's not their sole source of income. It can't be.
No, it's these guys. Parker himself has talked about how they've got 4, 5, 6 streams of income. So it's like YouTube is just one of them.
Yeah.
And the reason I brought him up is because of course we followed him because he just seemed like a regular person, right? He seems like a regular person.
Yeah.
He puts out all his stuff. He's just very positive, and he keeps his he seems like he's being himself the whole time. He's not trying to do a personality, right?
Right.
But I thought it was interesting because I love his content. I love what he's doing. I felt like they've slowed down to a point where it's like maybe they don't have time to do YouTube or there's not the interest. And I've been watching Schiffer's account, and he's kind of been bringing more fresh take on things and more modern style of stuff. And I was always wondering, I'm like, I bet you he's going to pass Parker because Parker has slowed down, gone more the classroom route, and Schiffer's doing the more flashy, new, innovative stuff.
Well, that's the whole thing. It's like, it's like barracudas to something shiny in the water, dude. It's like, Schiffer has found his niche. He's young. You know what I mean? He's that guy on YouTube, dude. There's a billion of them. But he's kind of found his style of shooting. And, we talked about it earlier. He had a very unique way of telling a story visually. And he rolled with that. And you know what? He wasn't offering full-time filmmaker classes. He was saying, here's how you do it for free. This is exactly how I did what you just saw. This product video I did for this company, I literally hired somebody. I had a buddy of mine to follow me around, and I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. So he's offering a huge value to people that are trying to learn how to get into the business. He's got and I think he's another one that's very, he's himself. You know what I mean? He's not a character. We follow a number of people like, Peter McKinnon and things like that are a little bit more, and Peter's himself too, animated. But it's a bit more animated, but I think he probably surpassed him because he offers a lot more free content. I think he's a little bit more of an open book, and he posts a hell of a lot more than Parker does, man. But we don't know. That dude Parker could be in California. I mean, he's worked on car commercials. He's done a number of things. You know what I mean? So he's probably doing a lot of work.
But for YouTube, Parker, if I remember right, he's down to like one a month or one every other month. One video.
It's very rare.
And Schiffer's at like one a week.
Yeah.
And I think
at least one a week.
McKinnon is like 2 a week now or something because
I think it's
these guys have all made so much
money
like
that.
Yeah, they're moving offices and stuff like that, and it's cool to see their growth. It really is.
Yeah.
But it's just I don't watch them for a sense of like how to do stuff with the camera. That's not why I go to them. I learn stuff from them. They all do cool stuff, and I'm like, man, that was dope. Like I wonder, like if I could implement that somehow. But for real, I keep up with them because I like to see their journey. Because I kind of feel like what we talked about before. There's nobody really laying the steps on how to be successful.
Right.
And you go through this thing blindly, and I'm like, I want to see people that are a few steps ahead of me and a lot of steps ahead of me, and I want to see what all that looks like. Just to kind of be aware, be ready for when it happens. Because it's going to happen. I know the recipe is consistency. That's just what it is. But just, it's good to see where you could be, in a year, 2 years, 10 years from now, what that looks like. Yeah,
for sure, man. And, a lot of people, my wife especially, she's like, dude, Matt, you'd be so great on YouTube. I'm like, maybe. I don't know. I kind of like being behind the camera, man. Believe it or not, people, I'd like, dude, and I know you feel the same way. I take such great joy in seeing us create things for people that they love, that they're so proud of and so happy. That for me is like, dude, it's at that point now where it almost feels better than like performing music, dude. Like it's because you're really helping somebody. You know what I mean? It's like you're helping somebody and you're still getting to be creative, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. So I don't know. Yeah, YouTube, I don't know, man. YouTube, it's a full-time commitment if you want to make any kind of decent money on there. It is a serious commitment, man. You got to be consistent for sure.
Yeah, consistent and just You got to identify what you love and what you're really going to talk about and get to it. I mean, we're doing it right now. This whole podcast thing is one avenue that if you're consistent with it, it'll gain a following. It just will, because that's the way things are. You just can't live and die by that view count, dude. You can't say, oh, I got 10 views and then I got 500. It's like,
oh, I don't care.
Let it be what it is. Because one day you'll hit a million views, and then all that old content will start getting viewed, and those numbers will go up. You know, so you never know which is going to be the one to really blow up. So
I'll tell you, I just I like the journey of learning. I'm telling you, man. I mean, just we're still learning, dude. We've had these cameras for 2 years, and it's like, or over 2 years, and I'm still learning. Like today, I was tasked with teaching. Wow, hello, red wine. Ew. With taking a headshot, like a professional headshot portrait for a aquarium employee, our new director of marketing, because our actual photographer is being quarantined right now. So I was like, okay, YouTube University, here we go. Because I'm a videographer, dude. Like I know the basics of exposure. I know how to expose a nice image. I know how to frame up a nice image. But like taking a photo, dude, respect to the photographers, man. Let me tell you that right now. Respect to the photographers, dude. We'll shoot for 4 hours and we'll use 30 seconds of it, dude. You know what I mean? I mean, dude, taking a headshot. I mean, I took probably 25, 30 shots. They used one. And it's just crazy. So this journey of learning, man, I just love it. I love it, man.
Yeah.
Still learning. Learning every day, dude. Learning every day.
Yeah, we don't know anything about this. I got so much software I use between the audio stuff, the video stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to use, I barely get my feet wet in knowing how to do the basics. I can edit a video. I can sequence it, color grade it, and do that. But there's nothing crazy I can do, even with the audio stuff. I can track a record and do some minor EQing and some minor compression, but there's people that dedicate their life to just, one aspect of it.
To one thing.
I parallel music and video as far as the workflows. And it's like with music, we met Lewis. What's up to him and his mastering studio. Check him out.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But Lewis dedicated himself to mastering, which is one aspect of the whole audio production. Where you would think, if you're an engineer, you do all of it. And I'm sure he does a little bit of everything, but his thing is mastering. He steps in the final phase and gets it sounding right. And a lot of times that's what it is in video. You got people that in a big video production house, one guy only does the color. That's it. He's not out there shooting, and he's not out there cutting up a video. You give him, almost a finished product, and he's in there making sure the colors look right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and we try to do everything ourselves. And I think, 2020 is the age of the kind of like the jack of all trades, which would used to be frowned upon. But now technology has made it to the point where you really can dabble in everything and be proficient. You won't be the absolute best, but you'll be pretty proficient. You'll know what you're doing and make some great product. And that's why, one-man bands and stuff like that, small teams, they're the ones that are going to kill it versus these bloated companies that are just sitting in their ways of the way this is how it's always been done, and that's how it's going to stay.
Let me ask you this. What is your favorite part of video production? What process gets you the most excited?
So I to answer your question shortly, I think editing, like the sequencing of it, putting the story together. Mm-hmm. But the longer answer would be, it kind of depends on the shoot. Yeah. Because there's some shoots where it's just more fun to actually be in there and shooting it and getting those cool shots and the cool angles and you nailed that focus and look at that shot. But in a general sense, I really enjoy putting the story together and seeing that come to life. Like, give me all the footage and let me now put this in sequence and put a story together. And that's the part that I enjoy. Especially when you got good footage, dude. We've worked, me a little more than you so these days, where I work with other people's footage sometimes. And that can be a bit of a chore, where it's just like, because here's the thing, and you'll know this because you've gone through some of my footage. So yeah, this works. When you know what you shot, as you're shooting, you already got like a mental database of, I know what shots I'm going to use. Yeah. And then when you're going through somebody else's, whether it's good or not, it becomes a little bit of a hassle kind of sifting through the footage more than you would your own, because you don't know what was good in that person's footage.
For sure. And, you could see that in a lot of our work in Tsunami. When you edit a video, because there are many times where most of the time we sit next to each other at the computer and one of us is at the controls. But yeah, when we split up, that's a really good point, dude. It's like, we know from a personal shooter standpoint, we know what we got. You know what I mean? And you're right. You can sequence it in your head, so you kind of lend yourself to using more of your footage. It is funny, man. It is funny that way. Even, dude, because you shoot great stuff too, but it's like sometimes I forget. I'm like, all right, what did Tony get here? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no, and then it works out when we do stuff together like that, because it's like, hey, you need a shot here, grab this because I know I got this one.
Right.
You know, but yeah, no, that stuff that's what I enjoy the most.
Yeah, the
I
editing
think you
part.
say the same thing.
No, I would. I think I've always enjoyed the editing aspect of it. Because really, it's just a bunch of raw clips, dude. You know what I mean? I mean, dude, don't get me wrong. I love going to shoot. I mean, shooting is so much fun. It's a little stressful. You know what I mean? Because you're interacting with so many different kinds of personality types, and me. I gotta kind of put on that that whole thing. And I do enjoy that, and I think that part of the job is what makes our job so special, is we get to go and interact with so many different kinds of people. We go to different places all the time. It's always changing. We're not in an office for half the time. But so I do really enjoy shooting, and I think I enjoy it so much because I get to shoot with you, dude, and it's a lot more fun when we're together. But you're right. Editing for me creatively is the jam. Like that's for me is where it all comes together, dude, and there's so much expression there. You know what I mean? And we're both music guys. We're both musicians. So, I feel like our edits always come from the music, and, selecting that right track or a couple tracks and the sound design aspect of it and how you cut it together. And like, we'll sit there and tap each other on the shoulder when we're working on two projects, in the studio, and be like, dude, check this out. And, it's just that's I agree. That's the most fun part for me, man, for sure, is the editing aspect. And you know what's crazy? Nobody sees that. Nobody sees what happens. We're going to do it. Once we get back in full swing, dude, we're going to do a lot more content, like, hey, welcome to the editing suite. Let me show you my process. Let's walk through what we did, because we've been wanting to do that for a long time on some of these videos we create for these clients, giving kind of like an inside look. Yeah, no, for sure. A time lapse just to show the amount of time it takes to get 1 minute of good, solid content. But really, as we can slow it down and actually show you what we're doing, stylistically, and cutting wise. So, yeah, man, I think we both share that. Editing's the shit, man. That's where it's at. It's where it's at.
And I think now with the skill level we've gotten to, not that we're super, super professional, but we're professionals now for sure.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
But I think to the point we gotten to, my answer would have been different maybe, I don't know, like a year ago or something, maybe. Because I'm going to tell you, like, back when I started for sure, it was a lot harder to frame stuff and get stuff in focus and get it to look the way I wanted.
Oh, yeah.
So that would have been a whole different mess. It's like, dude,
it's interesting you say that. Now. Yeah, we're getting to the point now where whatever we can kind of think of, we can achieve on camera for the most part.
And pretty quick too. Like that's the thing.
Fast. Yeah, for sure, and quickly. So, yeah, that's kind of taken the scariness out of shooting. You know what I mean? We know our equipment well enough. We're confident enough. Yeah, that's an interesting point you bring up, man. For sure.
Yeah, which affects the way people see our workflow, because it's like, I'm sure back when we started, we definitely took longer to shoot stuff. We did. We took much longer.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And people get the perception of, that's where the money's going. Now we get it done very fast, and the time is really spent editing, because this is now the harder part, is the editing. It's the funnest part to me, but it's the harder part.
Yeah,
where
sometimes
the shooting is like, that's...
Dude, it's so funny.
Nail it. We go out there, knock it out the park, and let's go.
Yeah, you're right. We do. And we have gotten way more efficient on the shooting side, and I think on the editing side as well. But it's funny about the editing. It's like I enjoy it so much, and I like rewatching it. I could probably cut my editing time down by half, by 50%, if I just plowed through. But like I enjoy it so much. I like to see. And here's another thing, and we'll get into this once we get back in the swing of things and we start releasing some more editing content. But like, let's say you make a choice, a cutting choice. You put a clip in, you cut it a certain way. You can't just keep going. You have to go back and you know what I mean? Like you can't just that's the next clip. Okay, we'll cut it there. All right, what's the next clip? No. You got to go back and you got to feel this flow, dude. You got to feel the energy, man. You got to feel the timing, the flow. And It's just crazy. I do love it. I'm smiling right now because I miss it so much. I miss it, man. I miss editing so much, dude. Editing our stuff.
I've seen people do it that way. Where they cut and it's like, what's the next clip? And that's I think that's the. You said it earlier. I attribute that to the musicality of it all. Like we have music in our blood.
Yeah.
Like there's something like
that is interesting, dude. Maybe that is interesting, man.
Maybe you can teach like rhythm, but some people just got it more naturally and you just go quicker, right?
Sure.
So it's like when you feel that in you, it relates to the video and stuff like that. And it's like, nah, man, I can't just go to the next clip. I need to see if this feels right the whole time. Like, dude, I made a change here.
Yes.
Let me see what this feels like. And a lot of people are like, let's move on, cut it. What's the next phrase? What's the next line? Like, dude, you don't do it to feel at all. Like you don't have a rhythm internally. Like dude, I get that we're not making a song.
Absolute internal rhythm, dude, for sure.
There's a dance. It's like a ballet when you're doing this whole thing. Like,
dude, with our edits, we literally, I mean, you do it too. We choose the music first before we put the first clip in. It's like, what's the track? What are we trying to do here?
That's to anybody editing videos. That better be your first step. Like,
it really needs to be,
now
man.
To tell
it's
you
gotta be.
That needs to be your first. Why are you cutting video if you don't know what the audio is going to sound like?
Yo,
like,
dude, can you imagine? Like, and it's interesting how Final Cut Pro, the editing software, works. It wants you to put clips before you put music in. And I'm like, dude, I take that main line on the timeline and I throw the freaking music track. I put the music track on the main timeline, and then I cut on top of that, as do you. I mean, that's kind of like the TDM way, man. But that's an interesting point you make about, our musicianship and that kind of music background and how it's influenced how we create visual media.
Yeah.
It's unique, man. I think it's unique. And here's another thing. A lot of people will watch our videos, or not just our videos, but, let's say it's a great video. You're watching a great video. Sometimes you're like, man, that's just a great video. And you don't really know why. 9 times out of 10, it's because those editors took the time to make it feel the right way. And a lot of times, I think the greatest compliment in Hollywood, a lot of Hollywood directors or editors will say, if nobody comments about the editing, you've done an incredible job. You've done a wonderful job. But if somebody's like, you know what I'm saying?
That's a special person to be able to do that too. Because if you got an ego and you need to hear how great it was all the time, it might not be the job for you.
Right. And we get that a lot too.
It's like I used to tell people with live audio, when I used to do like live events, like mixing live audio. If you're doing your job right, nobody's gonna say good job. Nobody. If you do it wrong, they're gonna say you guys are horrible. Did you hear the feedback? Did you do all this? But if you did your job correctly, you're not gonna hear an attaboy. Oh my goodness, that sounded amazing. And you know what's funny? And here's where egos get in check too. Any compliments will be given to the singers and not the audio people.
Isn't that funny?
Never. And it's just, remember, and you knew this because you didn't have an ego about this, but when we did our first music video, I kind of did say something because I was like worried. I wasn't worried, but I was just like kind of throwing it out there just in case. I'm like, if this video does very well, we're not going to get complimented on it. The artists will get complimented on it. They will be told, great video, great, awesome video. And they're not going to say who directed your video, who shot it. They're not going to ask.
And what's crazy about that? I thought about that too before we did our first music video, and I was like, I wonder how I'm going to feel about that. And really, I'm just proud of our work, and I'm at the age now where I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't need the accolades anymore. You know who I need the accolades from is you and my wife, dude. You know what I mean? If you enjoy it and my wife likes it, she likes half my stuff half the time, but. That's all I care about, dude. You know what I mean? I don't care, dude. I'm just proud of what we're doing. And here's the thing. At the end of the day, if the client, if our friends are happy with what we've created for them, that's all that fucking matters, man. That's all that matters, dude. That's all that matters.
Yeah, no, and if we make them look good enough, they'll come back.
Oh, for sure.
That's all it is. If they feel great about, the feedback they received in awesome video, then go back to the person that made your awesome video.
Dude, I just watched the Goyo music video the other day, man. Man, that was what a great production day that was, wasn't it? My goodness, dude.
Yeah, that was fun.
Dude, that first shot that's like 2.5 minutes long, the one shot, man, that was just so awesome, dude. Such a great freaking music video.
It's awesome to us. I like it. I think most people watch it and they're just like,
oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. right.
Okay. You don't get how much orchestration it takes to make everybody just stay still. Like that wasn't even a complicated one shot, but it's just like, hey, stand here, don't look at me.
Yeah. So we did a music video for a hip hop artist. And anyway, we had this idea where it was like, it'd be really cool. We start this like a movie, and we do this long one take, one shot gimbal movement through like this chop shop. Imagine like, what's the movie? Fast and the Furious.
Fast and the Furious.
Yeah. So it starts up in this office building with this boss, and he's giving this order, and we followed this guy all the way through this huge chop shop. And we go down these stairs, and we come out, and they're working on cars, and we must have done it. I don't think we did it that many times. I think we maybe did it 3 or 4 times.
3.
I think 3 times. Was it 3?
3 times.
Yeah, 3 times.
Yeah.
We did it 3 times, and I think twice was because I
took longer to
screwed
talk
it up.
But it took longer to talk it out, and that's the part that really, if you talk it out right, you don't have to do it, a million times. Get everybody on the same page. We rounded everybody up and said, this is what we're gonna do, this is what we need you doing, and stand here, do this, ignore the camera.
I will say this, and let me go back. I love editing is number 1. Number 2, a close second, is when we're able to do some scripted stuff, and I'm able to direct a bit. When we're able to direct, and we can direct people on set and actually like successfully execute that vision, that is a really good feeling too. And that music video for Hello Part 2, that was to see that was big. That day I felt very accomplished, man. Directing.
Like, what was cool, and it kind of got away from us a bit just because everything that happened, and we just kind of steamrolled into random stuff that just put us out of the office. Yeah. But if you remember, I remember nights where we were working on that little horror clip.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was really, thinking back to it, that was incredibly collaborative.
Oh, it was crazy collaborative.
Really like going back, like what would work in this room and talking it out, and like what's gonna be the best idea for this, and let's try this, let's try that, and that's when it's at its best. I think that when we're sitting there throwing ideas back and forth, and let's test this. Nah, that doesn't work. Let's try this one.
When there are no
remember
rules.
We went to the room.
There are no rules.
We'd look at it and then go back, like that last one with the green screen.
Oh, dude, I don't know how many people. Okay, so hopefully you watched our little horror concept trailer film that we put out. We were never gonna put that out, but I was like, I texted Tony one day. I was like, hey, dude, I'm thinking about putting out the Shadow Man horror thing. And you were like,
a lot of people like it.
You were like, cool, yeah.
I got messages and stuff.
Yeah, no, it's very cool, and yeah, that was a lot of fun. There was no rules, but you're right. Doing each shot and like taking our time and kind of setting it up and testing out lights and what looks natural. And yeah, I think for me, I'll know that we've made it when we have enough money and time to be able to make a legit short film, something just that we write together and we can execute together, just as a fun thing that we can maybe enter in some festival or something. I've always wanted to do that. Always wanted to do that.
I think we can do that soon. I think, and this is conversations we normally have off of camera and off of podcasts, but also one idea.
Why not?
I think
roll, dude. Roll.
When the economy reopens, I think we have a really, really great opportunity to find some people rebuilding their business and just document that. Yeah. And document, because I always say, I think the easiest, and not just because it's easy, but it's cool to do stuff you're passionate about. But one of the easier things to do is kind of a documentary locally and find a cause that we care about. Yeah. And kind of that's our way to contribute to the cause, is we're going to help you get your message out there.
We've talked about doing that for a long time, is finding something locally here in the Hampton Roads area and doing like a documentary style film on it. Maybe like a short film, or maybe, something long form. You never know, dude.
Yeah. But it'd be cool. Latch on to stuff. There's people out there creating stuff. I watch you guys on, locally, and there's people trying. They're doing some great stuff out there. So yeah, if one of you wants to steal the ideas, steal it. At least you're listening to the podcast, baby.
Yeah, baby. That's right. Well, look, dude, we've got an hour. I think we call it, man. This has been a great episode, dude. I miss you, man. I miss you. I'm imagining you here, dude.
You too, man.
Dude, you want to go? You want to go play some Call of Duty? You want to play some Warzone? You want to go? You're gonna rock and roll?
Yeah, man.
I mean, it's 10 p.m. Why not, right?
I got a couple wins the other night. I've been getting like 2, 3 Fortnite wins every day with the kids.
Woo, baby!
These kids are getting better and better.
Well, let's
go. Angrier and angrier now because they know what they need to do, and they're yelling at each other.
Yo, Vic's playing the video games, dude, and he's like, every time he dies, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?"
Oh, that's like kids' favorite phrase. Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me? All right, man. Well, let's go do it, dude. This has been great. Miss you, man, and let's get back to it soon. I'm Matt.
This is Tony.
And this is the Tsunami Podcast, baby. Let's go towards the camera, towards the actual GH5. 3, 2, 1. Fist bump. Dig it, man. Nice work, man.
All right.
Very good. Very good.